Hey everyone, let's talk about the arrest that happened at Springfield High School about a week ago. The one where the deputy flipped a student out of her chair, threw across a room, and arrested her. There's a couple points I want to make. I haven't seen them made, and I feel compelled to make these points publicly because I see a lot of people calling for blind obedience to authority. And I find that highly questionable. So here it goes. First point is that everything started when the student pulled out her phone during class and refused to get off her phone when the teacher asked her to. Eventually, the teacher asked her to leave the classroom. Again, the student did not comply and would not leave. And eventually, the teacher called an administrator to the classroom to deal with the situation. So then the administrator asked her to leave the classroom, and she still would not comply. And after a certain number of attempts, the administrator called the school police officer to come deal with the situation. And so it all started from a student peacefully, albeit dickishly, pulling out her phone during their class and not leaving the classroom when asked. Okay, 2. The role of the police is to protect people and property. That's just their general role in society. The reason that police are in schools nowadays stems back to the Columbine shooting. And so they're there to prevent shootings and other violent events at schools. And that kind of illustrates my point. This was not a violent event. This student posed no violent threat to anyone, wasn't posing any threat to anybody's property. And so it was not a situation that Officer Fields should have been involved in, because it basically asks the officer to police human behavior. And that is a very challenging thing to do because, one, a lot of human behaviors are not unlawful. Like being a dick in class is not against the law, and hence it's not the purview of the police officer. And that is how we fix this. We need to come to terms with the role of police officers and policing in society. They are here to protect people and property. They are not here to deal with the petty squabblings of students in classrooms who refuse to leave the class, and the teachers and administrators' failures in their profession to resolve a situation peacefully. That is a big concern for me, and I think a lot of libertarians and people who think about this stuff, is the more you ask police officers to do, the more force is going to be used to solve situations, because that's what the police are. They are the force behind laws in our society, because if laws are not enforced with violence, then they're just suggestions. So when you use police to control human behavior and try to address people who are acting peacefully but not in a way you want, there should be no surprise that there's going to be force and violence used in that situation. And so our best bet is to leave the police in their proper role and don't pull them out into situations they should not be involved with. Because now we have a police officer who was fired because he was put in a really, really difficult position that required finesse and basically anything less than physical force. But his job requires him to do that all the time. And so we can't be surprised that that's what he ended up using to resolve the situation.